I want to know, what is the Black American culture?
American culture is black culture to a large degree. Flip on the television set. Look at Pulp Fiction. Choose whatever examples you want.
Every culture starts from a language, a tribe. Every tribe have a language. Apart from English, what other language do Americans speak? The Black Americans.
A natural-born American doesn't give two shits about language. We don't have to. People have to adapt to us. We don't have to adapt to them. We don't have to learn anybody else's language. People have to learn English in order to succeed and do business, especially over here. So why would we even need to know any other languages? What value does that bring into our life?
The Mexicans in America speak Spanish. They have something they speak outside English. The Asians the Chinese, everybody speak their language outside English. What do you speak?
I guess he doesn't realize that Mexico was colonized by Spain and that Spanish is actually a European language in the same way that English is a European language. They're both not traditionally tribal languages that are native, quote unquote, to the Americas.
Bro, the Black Americans are the culture, maybe baby mama culture, baby single women having 3 kids. That's probably their culture. Or the numbers of the highest incarcerated black young men in America. That's their culture. I don't know. Is it the pim culture, the gang banging culture? Is that the culture?
Oh, you want to go there? Okay, he's Nigerian, right? So is Nigerian culture living in water slums called Makoko, where people have to jump, hop, and skip from one broken board to the next to avoid falling inside of sewage water, where the people have to live and swim in the same water that they shit and piss in? Okay, is that Nigerian culture? I mean, correct me if I'm wrong. I mean, it's not like that's not a reality, right? So if you want to throw shade, I could throw it right back. One thing I love to do is I love to give people the same gifts that they give me.
Bro, the Black American culture is about wearing, let's say, wearing the Nikes, they want to be on the trend game. These are the culture.
It was Nigerian culture, scamming people all around the world, scamming each other, robbing each other, hopping from one country to the next, being a Yahoo boy and being a thug. Like, is that Nigerian culture?
But I don't know why they want the Black Americans feel like they should be the center of black people around the world, or they should be the face of black people around the world. Why?
Let's get straight into that delusion. If we look around the globe, our fashion is copied, our music is replicated, our slang, be it good or bad, stolen and watered down, the way we walk, the way we talk, the rhythm, we are studied, mimicked, and monetized.
The hip hop. You want to say the hip hop? The music is your culture. I don't get it. Eminem is not black, but he do more hip hop probably than the Black Americans. I don't get the culture you're talking about. Maybe because you guys dominate the basketball, the sports game in America. You guys dominate. Is that the culture? Sport is not culture, bro. Let me educate you.
Y'all don't recognize the culture because you are literally cosplaying it on a daily basis.
It is honestly sad and disrespectful to see someone come online and claim that Black Americans have no culture. Anytime that I see arguments like that, I don't see facts. I see ignorance. I see misinformation and lack of understanding. We had this Nigerian man, and he's one of those people constantly pushing that narrative. I have listened to what he said and how he tries to justify it. Keeps repeating the same points that Black Americans have no language, no tribe, no culture. But what he completely ignores is the reality. For over 400 years that Black Americans have been living in America, they have built a unique culture, a global culture, a global influence. But I'm so happy that we're starting to see more and more immigrants coming here online, trying to admit that Black American culture is American culture. And these kinds of people are the ones who are going to misinform the narratives that are being spread by those other people.
They are American culture, right? Every good part of American culture comes originally from black people. Our economic foundation, if you read The Half Has Never Been Told by Edward Baptiste, it talks about how in the 1800s and the 1900s, we really benefited from heavily subsidized, essentially free labor, right? Slavery's impact cannot be understated in our ability to grow this nation at such a rapid rate. And from slavery, from that comes all of the modern music we love, right? The blues, jazz, all born out of a time when black people had no hope for the future, right? So they would sing, and all of that became the music that is loved internationally. If you go anywhere in the world, the American music that people are listening to all comes from black people, right? I really want people to think long and hard about where this country would be without black people. Essentially nowhere, right? We definitely wouldn't be cool, right? Well, you wouldn't be able to go to a cafe in Amsterdam or a nightclub in Bangkok and listen to things that are familiar to you. All of that is due to black people.
Black culture is American culture. As an Indian man that was born and raised in America, I'm telling you right now, every aspect of American culture, sports, fashion, art, music, all of it, it's all black culture. Black culture is American culture. This superior race bullshit that's being spewed right now, that's what it is. It's just bullshit. Because if you take away your money, you take away your business, you take away your influence, it all collapses. The American economy will collapse without you. Some of the single most greatest inventions that were created in America were by black people. I'm just tired of this narrative that oh, people are too ghetto. Oh, people are this and people are that. You'd be nothing without them. You'd be nothing without them. And this isn't just for my black friends. This is for all minorities. They would be nothing without you. And another thing, stop supporting these corporations that literally disrespect you on a daily basis.
I am an Afro-Latina. I was born and raised here under a Latino culture. Just to give you a little bit of perspective of what blackness I come from. Now, if you're black and you weren't raised here in America, you're really not going to understand black American culture unless you have literally went out and studied it because you wanted to. But one thing I think I need people from the black diaspora to understand that is unique to African American culture is that African American people have literally created a black culture here in America. Whereas black Brits or black Dominicans or black Jamaicans or black Colombians have really bought into this idea of mixing with everybody and creating one culture. So this black British person said, yeah, we have our own soul food, but that's our Caribbean food, that's our Nigerian food. But I hate to say this to my black British people, that's not soul food. That is what you said, Nigerian food, Caribbean food. Here in America, black American people have their own soul food. It's their food. Just like here in America, we have Caribbean food, we have Jamaican food. Soul food here is not Caribbean food. It's not Jamaican food. It's not Nigerian food. That's African American soul food. Is their own genre of food. It is completely separate from the African diasporic food that has come into America. And a lot of people like to say, well, oh, black Americans are not well educated about the diaspora. And I would argue the same thing for the other diasporic people who like to make comment on African Americans when y'all don't really know anything about African Americans. And I would argue that African Americans, and I'm not talking about Africans from Africa, let's leave them out, okay? Because obviously they have their own culture. But I'm talking about the diasporic black people who have been shipped to different countries, right? And been forced to assimilate. African Americans didn't completely do that. Unlike all the other diasporic people who were shipped across the world, they literally assimilated and integrated and mixed and created one culture. Whereas African Americans literally have their own culture. And in my opinion, I would consider them the most pro-black because they still have something to call their own. And it is not heavily washed down by whiteness, okay? And this is coming from an Afro-Latino.
Seriously, I'm gonna keep saying this until I die. American culture is black American culture. It just gets filtered out and watered down and whitewashed until they can give credit to a white guy. Jazz, country, rock and roll, rap, all black American creation. And then you want to move to the protest side. Bro, not only did Black Lives Matter spark actual other things like Asian lives matter and queer lives matter and trans lives matter. But on the flip side, when racist assholes were trying to say, well, blue lives matter, through humanity, what happened is it translated into less of a sarcastic thing and more into a genuine, like, support your nurses and firefighters and EMTs. So even the people who might be the most discriminatory, they got to think of Black American for their own views.
I'm so grateful that we're in a day and age where people are finally starting to keep it real. Finally. We literally created all of this shit. The whole entire system. There just wasn't a thing such as patents and all of that when we created it. So it was stolen. The whiskey that you're drinking, created by a black person. The things that you use around your house, created by a black person. Black American person. If you're a woman and you get your menstrual and you use a pad, created by a black American woman. Like, we literally created all of this shit. There's a plethora of things that we could run off, but it was stolen. And that's just the truth. I mean, take a look around. How our very culture is like recycled and reused and outsourced, and everybody is pulling from Black American culture. And this is why we get so much hate, because love and hate lives on the same spectrum. They love you so much that they start to hate you. They imitate you, they emulate you, they want to displace you, and they want to replace you. Destiny swapping. Just keep your eyes open. But they know. We even teach them how to wash their ass properly. I've seen some videos of white women saying, oh my God, I found black women washing up, bathing TikTok, shower TikTok. They like, when they was little kids, they used to get in a pool and their mother said that they was clean. I seen another woman that was in the army and she said that black women taught her how to properly bathe herself. A clear woman. She didn't know proper hygiene. Some of them was wiping back to front, not front to back. If you know, you know. If you're a woman, you know. I had a white friend. I'm just going to keep it real. We was out, story time, quick story time. This is long, so maybe you want to press this, hold it down for the 2 times. Quick story time. We was out, and we was hanging out. We went to a bodega, like, in the city. Went downstairs. She sat her bare ass on the toilet. I screamed. I said, bitch, you better not ever sit your bare ass on a public restroom toilet without at least putting some tissue down. Squat. From then on out, she never sits her ass on a toilet, a bare public toilet. She learned that from me.
You know, I think it should be noted that other countries can't perceive Black American culture because they're living currently in Black American culture. Like, let's just be real. Our influence is strong as fuck. So strong that you even got other cultures that have created genres that directly come from Black America. Almost every other country got a rap genre and an R&B genre. That is Black American. Their styles mimic our styles. Our styles, the way that we dress, the way that we talk, the way that we walk, influence other cultures. Y'all kids are mimicking our kids. Our influence is so strong that people from other countries come all the way to America to be a part of the music industry that we created. Even our spiritual influence is strong. Do you know how many other nationalities that have converted to Christianity that mimic Black churches and mimic Black pastors?
Think about this. Why does the globe want to imitate people they claim who are at the bottom? Why do foreign brands, foreign artists, influencers build their entire careers off of Black aesthetics, y'all? Because deep down inside, they know the truth. See, influence don't come from just power alone. It comes from culture. And Black America has shaped globally culture without permission, without protection, and without credit. You can't copy what you look down on. You copy what you can't replace. See, if the world is mimicking us while disrespecting us, that should tell you everything you need to know. Just look around. I always want y'all to look around. Start with this very app that we're on every single day. You will see how we are mimicked and monetized. It's white folks on this very app, y'all, teaching what I'm teaching, and y'all are down in the comments eating it up. Plenty of Black creators are teaching Black history and doing stuff. But y'all listen to the very people who misled you in the first place. And I ain't gonna even get on the white rappers that you black rappers push forward. Don't y'all know that's how we lost rock and roll? Y'all think rock and roll is something white when folks like they biggest ones, Elvis Presley, didn't do nothing but steal and copy from black rock and roll artists, and now it's whitewashed. So when I see y'all pushing white rappers, you ain't doing nothing but whitewashing yourself in the future, and they gonna see a white face on the cover of rap instead of your black face. They mimic us and they study us, and they take our own culture and refeed it back to us, and we push them. We got such a, I don't know what it is. We push it, and we welcome them in like the welcome wagon of society. Meanwhile, they talking about you low life and feeding you back that bullshit you have no culture. When whether it's good culture or bad culture, but black culture dominates the globe, and it dominates America. You see it on commercials. You see it everywhere you turn. Some form of black culture. It's in our rhythm, in the way we dress, we talk, our hair, our walk. But y'all will let somebody sit around and tell y'all have no culture when we dominate the globe in culture. The next time somebody tell y'all that, or you see somebody saying black folks haven't showed no kind of culture in the last 25 years, think about that. And all you got to do is take a stroll through each and every one of these social media platforms, and you will see your culture mimicked every day, whether it's good or bad. Wigs, weaves, BBLs, rappers, cars, clothes, slangs, foods, the way we season food. Our culture, y'all, is everywhere. Don't ever let nobody water that down and resell it and repackage it back to you in a different skin tone. I'm Dr. O, y'all.
Black American culture is too underrepresented in this city. And like Caribbean people always say Black Americans don't have culture. But in reality, y'all just are not aware of Black American culture. Like there's so much regional Black American culture throughout this country that y'all don't know. Because in New York, the only Black American culture that is represented is mainstream Black American culture. Like the most popular of the popularist rap songs. It's never like all of the different, like where's the West Coast rap? Why y'all not playing no Plies? Where's the T-Pain? Like it's so much Black American culture and Southern rap that just don't get no airplay in this city because it's just Caribbean culture.
Black American culture is the foundation and primary culture in New York City. Music, the style, the lingo, and the way of life is all created by Black Americans, and it has done so over the past 6 decades. New York City has always been a city of migration. It has always been a place where immigrants have come to. And during the Great Migration, which lasted from 1910 to 1970, over 6 million Black Americans moved from the South to the northern cities and the Midwest cities. New York obviously being one of those places. Out of that, we got several different arts movements, educational movements, cultural movements that were spearheaded by Black Americans. Black American culture has been supremely prevalent and currently still is supremely prevalent in the everyday New York City culture. To say that New York City only highlights mainstream Black American culture is crazy, because New York City is a mainstream city. It's the biggest city in America. It's a center of finance, it's a center of arts, center of politics, center of so many things. The Northeast in general is such a huge part of American that drives American culture. So therefore, everything Black that comes out of New York City will therefore be mainstream. You cannot be mad that Southern rap is not played in New York or West Coast rap is not played in New York, because it simply is not part of New York City culture to indulge in those things. We're the city that invented rap. You can't be mad that we don't want to play rap from other areas. So the argument is kind of crazy, especially if you're from Brooklyn and you're saying that every single function you go to, you're playing Caribbean music. That means you're going to a function with a Caribbean promoter, a Caribbean establishment, or it's just not a Black American party. In addition, most Black people who grew up in New York City live juxtaposed to Haitians, Jamaicans, Trinidadians, Puerto Ricans, and a slew of other places that we're just used to. But when people migrate to America, they assimilate to us, not the other way around. You can hear Caribbean music in a party, but what are they dressing like? What are they talking like? What's their lingo? What do they do in their everyday lives? They mimic Black Americans, because Black Americans are the foundation of that city. As someone whose grandmother and her siblings moved from Georgia, Millen, Georgia, to Brooklyn, New York during the Great Migration, and whose first husband was Bayesian, whose daughters then went on to marry and procreate with different Caribbean people. My family is both Caribbean and Black American. And I know succinctly that there is a massive Black American influence and culture and people in New York City. The difference is New York City is home to so many people who arrived at the same time in congruency. It's not like there were that many Black American slaves in the North to begin with. New York had a Black population prior to all the influx of immigrants in the Great Migration, but it was only around 20,000 or so freedmen that lived in New York. So when we look at the very essence of what New York City is and represents, for you to reduce Black American culture to playing Southern rap music in a city that is the center for culture and arts for our people, it's kind of reductive. It's an asinine point to make. I would just ask you, as someone who lives in Brooklyn, as you say, to look within, do some soul searching, maybe find your culture. Find the places you need to go to, because it definitely exists.
Brothers and sisters, I hope you are doing well. Now, I want you to tell me the state or the country where you are watching from. Write it down there in the comment section. I want to know the people that we are together. Now, let me speak directly to Black American brothers and sisters. Sometimes when you see these conversations online of these people saying that Black Americans have no culture, it can feel frustrating. It can feel like these immigrants are constantly trying to question your identity, your history, question what you have built, and after a while it gets tiring. I can see that from your reactions. I can see that from your comments that you've made. Anybody with sense can see that. But let me tell you something. You're not obliged to always prove your culture to anyone. What you have built, speak for itself. The world didn't just wake up and randomly start moving the way it moves. There are reasons why people across the world dress the way they dress, talk the way they talk, listen to the kinds of music that they listen to. That influence did not come from nowhere. What is funny is that the same people who keeps constantly saying that Black Americans have no culture are the same people who consume it. I know many of them will not come here on internet and admit it, but I know. I am from Africa. I live in Africa. Africans are always consuming Black American culture. So when you hear those kinds of statements where they are saying that Black Americans have no culture, don't even take them as facts. Take them as the lack of awareness. Because if someone really take time and look and observe and study, they will see clearly that you don't only have the culture, you have the impact. And it is not just a small impact, it is a global impact. And as an African, can respectfully say that a lot of people here don't fully understand your journey. So they try to measure you using the standards they know. Tribes, language, customs, and when it doesn't match, they assume that something is missing. But it is not missing. It is different. Different does not mean less. If anything, it means that you had to create under pressure. You had to build your identity in a situation where the identity was constantly being challenged. And the kind of identity that you have created is unique. It is constantly changing. It is constantly evolving. And that is why your culture does not stay still. It grows. It adapts. It leads. But you have also started seeing that more and more immigrants are starting to understand what you have been saying. They are speaking up to correct that narrative where some of these people use it to say that you don't have culture. And that shows that not everyone is stuck in that mindset. It shows that understanding is growing. But Black Americans, you have to learn how to protect your peace. Not every comment that undermines you deserves a response. I've been seeing many of you guys putting much energy in responding to some of these people. You have to understand that some of these people are even speaking from the place of not knowing. And it is not your job to carry that burden every time. Stand in what the history has produced. Stand in what your culture continues to give the world. I'm pretty sure time will come where these people will become aware of who you are, of your culture. Because I know some of them are not aware, they are not educated, they have not read books. As they keep learning, as they keep being educated, they will learn who you are. But I'm pretty sure as we keep making these educating videos, educating our people, of your culture, of how you have influenced the world, they will learn and the recognition will come. Some people take long time to learn or to unlearn the myths that they heard about you, but I know they will catch up later. And yeah, I'm gonna be honest, it gets tiring to see this constant disrespect. It really does, and I know I'm not the only one who's being affected. Many of you are also being affected. But even in that, I want you to remember something important. Your value, you as a Black American, is not defined by someone else. It never has been. And from where I am standing, watching all of this as an outsider, I can clearly see that what we have built is something strong, something influential, something that keeps to shape the world, whether people admit it or not. So don't let that noise shake you, because what is real does not need permission to exist. Peace and love to y'all. I wish you prosperity. I wish you God's blessing. If you have enjoyed watching this one, I want you to click on that like button. And also let's have a conversation, open conversation. If you are proud to be a Black American, drop a fist emoji down there in the comment section or write, I am a proud Black American. See you next one. Ciao.